Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King, and today I'm going to be giving you part 60 of What If Tsunade Was Naruto's Mother. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also go ahead and check out the new episode of What If Naruto Was Taken by Orochimaru over on Anime King 2. I posted a new series guys, so go ahead and check it out and enjoy. And I'm also going to be posting What If Naruto created his own village, so stay in tune for that. And over at Anime King 2, I'm going to be posting What If Naruto joined the Akatsuki, so stay in tune for that as well guys. So yeah, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both channels, remember to click that red subscribe button and join Anime King and Anime King 2 and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you all for your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So without further ado, let's get straight into this new episode. So, to do a bit of recap about the last part. After they found out that Mai was pregnant, Naruto brought her to his house as she told him to get a list of stuff that she needed. As Naruto went to get them, when he arrived, Temari was there. As it took a lot of explaining, but after a while, Temari calmed down as Naruto explained everything to her, as she didn't hold it against him. Sakura was also talking to Ino, as she told her what happened, seeing that no one told Sakura that she should keep it a secret, as Ino rushed over to Naruto's house and she saw Mai there, as Ino was upset, seeing that she had the hugest crush on Naruto, and now she found out about this, thinking that he will leave the village again or leave to go be with her at her village. But Naruto explained to her that he won't do that, and after a while of talking, Ino told him how much she cared about him, as Naruto couldn't believe it, as it was as same as Temari, he felt that spark for Ino. Naruto then went as he told his mother about what Sasuke told him, that Sasuke had a spy working alongside Orochimaru, seeing that Kabuto is dead when Naruto killed him at the Valley of the End. Sasuke has a new spy that is spying on Orochimaru for him, and in 10 days they were going to meet at the Tenchi Bridge. As Naruto informed this to his mother, and after convincing her, she allowed him, Sakura, Kushina and Kakashi to go on the mission. Back at the Hidden Rain, as we expected, Hanzo was no more, and the leader of the Akatsuki was Pain, as this was all him, telling Mai that he wants to meet Senju Naruto, as Mai was happy because she finally get to see her grandfather again, as she just played into the role. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can check out the playlist and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. We start this episode with Naruto. Naruto was on the ground, on his knees, as blood covered his hands. He was crying as there was a body in front of him. The face was not being shown as Naruto was crying, as he then heard a laughter above him as he looked up and saw 4 people standing up and looking down at him. Naruto jumped out of his sleep as he looked around as he was huffing and puffing. "Naruto, calm down," said Sakura. As we currently find Naruto and the team in a house created by Naruto using the Mokiton. As days has passed and tonight is the 9th day, tomorrow is the day that they meet up with Sasuke. Currently, Kushina and Kakashi were outside on the roof talking about plans, while Sakura and Naruto were inside. Naruto fell asleep as he just jumped out of his sleep sweating. "What happened?" said Sakura. "Bad dream," said Naruto as he shook his head. "Everything is gonna be alright," she said with a smile. "I hope so," said Naruto, as Naruto didn't know what that dream was about. Did it have to do with something about him? Seeing that the news about him having a child has spread around the nations, and he felt like something bad was going to happen soon. He didn't know what, but he felt like something bad was going to happen. As Naruto then went back to sleep. Time skip. It was the 10th day. As we currently have Kakashi disguised as Sasuke on the Tenchi Bridge, while Kushina and Sakura and Naruto are hiding in the bushes as the breeze was blowing hard. As they were all waiting for the spy. About 10 seconds later, someone walked out on a clearing as a person had on a hood. As Kakashi stood there in his transformation, as he waited, the person walked up to him. "I got what you asked for, sorcery," the person said, as it was a female voice. As the person removed the hood, showing her red hair, as Naruto's eyes went wide. "What is it?" asked Sakura. As Kushina looked at Naruto, "What's wrong?" "That's the girl." "What girl?" Sakura said. "Well, when I went for Sasuke 4 years ago, there was these 4 members. She was one of them." As Kakashi was currently looking at Teiwaya. "Her?" said Kakashi. As he then remembered the report, after they face off against Teiwaya, the Sound 4 basically, the Sound 4 escaped with the injured Sound Ninjas when he went to face off against Kimimaru. So they survived, Kakashi thought. As Kakashi then went into the character of sorcery. "What took you so long? You know I don't like to be kept waiting," he said. "Sorry about that. It's just hard to get away from Orochimaru. Make sure none of his spies are watching me. So I got all the new intel about all the new bases that he has currently worked in and where he is now. So have you got what I asked for?" Teiwaya asked. As Kakashi was now sweating. "Damn it, what the hell did she ask for?" said Kakashi to himself. "So have you?" she said, as she removed the cloak showing her hand. "Can you hand it over please?" she said. "What should I do? Should I just take her in right now so we can get all those information about the bases?" "Yeah, that's what I'll do," said Kakashi. As he quickly released the transformation jutsu, as he was about to launch at Teiwaya, but he had to flip back as 3 golden arrows landed in front of him. As Kakashi jumped back, it was then that Kidamaru appeared. Seeing that 4 years has passed, all of them has grown up and changed. It was then that Jirobo jumped out of the nearby woods and landed on the bridge. As Seikon and Ukon appeared as well. As Kakashi then signaled for his team as they all appeared beside him. About 5 seconds later, all of them felt something coming from the woods. As they turned their head. "Oh, so we meet again, Senju Naruto," said a voice. As Orochimaru emerged from the woods. "You bastard," said Naruto. "The last time you fought my elite guards here, you were able to beat them all down. And you were even able to kill Kabuto. But a lot of time has passed. And they has improved. I heard that you have improved as well. Well, let's see how you do against them now," said Orochimaru. "Where is Sasuke?" Naruto asked. As he looked up at Orochimaru. "Oh, my dear Sasuke, you don't need to worry about him now. He is busy improving to get stronger. But I wonder, who is stronger now? You or him?" "What's going on here?" said Kakashi. "Aren't you supposed to be working for Sasori?" he said, looking at Teiwaya. "Oh, Lord Orochimaru destroyed that a long time ago. I wouldn't spend my life working for a puppet like that. I am truly and always will be loyal to Orochimaru," she said. "So, you really intended on capturing the spy," said Orochimaru, bringing along the famous Kenjutsu user, Kushina Uzumaki, as Kushina narrowed her eyes at Orochimaru as she unsheathed her sword, and the copy ninja Kakashi Hatake. As Orochimaru then smiled. "Well then, let's see how you do against them. Seeing that your demon fox inside of you removed the curse mark that I placed on you, you are no longer useful to me, Senju Naruto. And right now you're nothing but a pest in my way, and I won't allow you to get your grubby hands on Sasuke, because he's mine. Now, Stone 4, kill them." With that, Jirobo rushed forward as he heads straight to Naruto. As Jirobo clocked back his fist and swing, as Naruto flipped back, Teiwaya then unsheathed that sword that she had on her back. "You see, I've been training in Kenjutsu. Let's see how I do against you," she said, as she rushed towards Kushina as the both of them started to clash their swords together. As Kidamaru started to fire arrows towards Kakashi, who was flipping and dodging them. Seikon and Ukon then separated as Kidamaru jumped back as Ukon rushed towards Kakashi while Seikon rushed towards Sakura as each of them were fighting someone. As Kidamaru clocked back his arrows, Lord Orochimaru, I have him in lock sight, said Kidamaru. Fire. As Kidamaru fired 3 arrows aimed at Naruto, as Jirobo flipped back, Naruto saw them coming as he slammed his feet into the ground, breaking a part of the bridge as it came up as the arrows stabbed right into it as Naruto threw it to the side. Is that all? Because when I'm done here, I'm coming for you, Naruto said as he looked at Orochimaru. As Orochimaru chuckled as he just moved back a distance as Naruto rushed towards him, but Jirobo dropped out of the air with a boom, shattering a part of the bridge, but it didn't break completely as both him and Naruto went into a taijutsu battle as Jirobo tried to use his strength to overpower Naruto, but that quickly changed when Naruto started to infuse his fist with chakra as he slammed his fist into Jirobo's hand as he brought up his hand to protect his face, as Jirobo had to jump back as his hand was literally steaming from Naruto's fist as they were numb. What the hell? How strong has this kid become? Stronger than you, said Naruto as he appeared over Jirobo with an ox kick. Jirobo flipped back as Naruto flipped over and speed through hand sign. Wood style, woodbine, Naruto said as the woodbine came from the bridge and wrapped around Jirobo as Naruto flipped off Jirobo's head and rushed towards Orochimaru. Orochimaru held out his hand. Many hidden shadow snakes. Fire style, fireball jutsu, said Naruto as he burned the snakes, creating a huge smoke. Naruto then had to twist his body as an arrow speed past his face, grazing his cheek as he flipped over and one of the arrows sliced him right in his side. Damn it, Naruto said as he held on to his side, but then smoke came from it as he started to heal. As Naruto looked around, but there was no sign of Kidamaru. Naruto then ran through hand sign as he said chakra pulse, but he couldn't sense Kidamaru nowhere on the ground. So where is he? As Naruto looked in the forest, he must be somewhere in the trees, as Orochimaru vanished as well. Naruto then speed through hand sign. Wood style, wood spike, he said as he slammed his hand on the ground. As the entire forest started to be rooted up as wood spikes emerged from the ground, piercing through the trees, ripping them apart. As this went on for a while. Well, that should take care of him, said Naruto. Earth style, earth barrier, said Jirobo as he placed an earth barrier around Naruto. Immediately, Naruto felt his chakra being sucked out. Not this again, said Naruto as he clawed back his fist and slammed it into the earth barrier. But Naruto was surprised. It actually didn't break apart. It cracked, but it didn't break apart. It seems you have gotten a lot stronger, Naruto said. But this won't hold me. As Jirobo felt the chakra being riled up inside of there, as Naruto clapped back his fist with more power and destroyed it. Meanwhile, Kushina was facing off against Teiwaya. Kushina was far out of her league, as Teiwaya was bruised and battered already. Kushina then released 2 chains from her back, as both chains hit away Teiwaya's feet as she dropped down, her sword fly out of her hand. As Kushina walked up to her, Teiwaya quickly pulled out her flute as the 3 monsters appeared. As they came down to smash Kushina, Kushina flipped back as she looked at the 3 monsters in front of her. As Teiwaya slowly picked up herself as she started playing her flute. Let's see how you handle these, she said. Meanwhile, Kakashi was facing off against Ukon. As the both of them were locked in taijutsu, Kakashi dodged one of his fists as Kakashi slammed his hand right into his stomach. He winced in pain for a bit. Kakashi flipped as he did a roundhouse kick, knocking him in the side of the head as he flipped off the bridge. As Kakashi then looked over to see Seikon and Sakura, as Sakura charged her fist and slammed it into his gut, sending him flying back as he crashed through the forest where Naruto summoned all of the wood spikes as he crashed in there. Meanwhile, Orochimaru was by himself in one of the tall trees watching the battle with a smirk on his face. As a sound ninja appeared beside him. Lord Orochimaru, everything was prepared. Shall we begin? Yes, do it now, said Orochimaru. As sound ninjas, a lot of them came out of the water as they rush towards on the bridge. They speed through hand sign. As in unison, they shouted, "Infinite corner barrier," they said, as they slammed their hand on the ground. Immediately, Teiwaya jumped back, as Kakashi and Kushina were trapped in a blue barrier, as all of the ninjas put barrier around themselves as well, so they wouldn't be interrupted while they're doing this. Kakashi and Kushina tried to break free. Before they did anything, Kakashi pulled out a kunai as he threw it towards the barrier. Immediately the kunai melted, as they had to stay one place, seeing that the barrier touch could melt their bones. Sakura then jumped beside Naruto as the both of them had their backs to each other, as the Sound Ninjas erupted as they surrounded Naruto and Sakura. As Seikon and Ukon then emerged, both of them had a few scratches here and there, but they were now fully in their curse mark state. As Jirobo then emerged as well, as Teiwaya emerged with their 3 monsters. But Naruto still couldn't see Kidomaru. As Jirobo then looked at the Sound Ninjas, "Now," he said. Naruto speed through hand sign, Earth style, 4-corner wall, he said as he slammed his hand on the ground, as a 4-corner wall Earth style erupted from the ground, as the Sound Ninjas blasted attacks from left and right towards Naruto and Sakura, but the 4-corner wall blocked all those attacks. As Naruto then looked up, as all of the Sound Ninjas were now above them, as they were going through hand sign in mid-air, Naruto then lowered one of the sound wall as he pushed Sakura out. As the other sound wall collapsed, as Naruto was going through hand sign, Mokidan, as Naruto was ready to use his wood release, but he started to sink, as the ground beneath him turned into a puddle-like state, as Naruto was caught off balance and his hand sign was messed up, as 2 chains from 2 Sound Ninjas wrapped around his hand as they both went their separate ways, pulling Naruto's hand wide open, so he couldn't go through hand sign. As Naruto grabbed onto both chains and started to pull them closer, it was then that Kidomaru appeared with 3 arrows as he pulled back and released them, as all of them were going towards Naruto, one in the head, one through the stomach and one through the heart. Sakura seeing this, she dashed forward as she threw 3 kunais with precise speed, knocking away the 3 arrows, as Naruto then grabbed onto the chains as he break them apart, releasing his hand. It was then he heard a scream and then silence, as Naruto turned to see Sakura, blood gushing from her mouth. "Watch your back next time," said Teiwaya, whispering into Sakura's ear, as her sword was through Sakura's chest, as the whole world froze, as Kushina and Kakashi, who was stuck, saw this as well. As Naruto wasn't thinking, he just felt like he was floating in a pitch of darkness. As he looked over, cannot believe in what he was seeing, as Teiwaya pulled her sword, as Sakura's body dropped to the ground with a loud thud. A burst of chakra was released from Naruto, blowing away the quicksand, as Naruto dashed towards Sakura as Teiwaya jumped back, but Naruto didn't care for her at the moment. He flipped over Sakura as his hands immediately turned green. As he placed it on the wound, tears started to fall out of his eyes. No, you can't die here. You're one of my friends." "I said that I would always protect my friends," said Naruto. "And I made you a promise to bring Sasuke back." "You can't die without me fulfilling my promise to you," Naruto said. But he knew it. She was already gone. As tears started to stream down his face, Teiwaya had stabbed her right through the back, piercing her heart. As Jirobo told the Sound Ninjas to attack with everything they've got, as they all fire a barrage of attacks, as Kakashi and Kushina cried out for them. But in an instant, Naruto was gone, as he was holding Sakura bridal style, a few feet away from the explosion attacks, as Naruto then created a wood clone, as he handed the wood clone Sakura's body as the wood clone went off. The Sound Ninjas then rushed at Naruto. Naruto slammed his fist into the ground with a boom, as debris and stones were flying, as all of the Sound Ninjas backed off. In a blur, Jirobo's eyes went wide as he saw Naruto standing over him with his fist raised. Jirobo wasn't fast enough as Naruto brought down his fist with a boom as the earth split open by Naruto punching Jirobo right in the head as Jirobo sank deep in the ground as that punch killed him. As Naruto then looked over at Seikon and Ukon, the both of them rushed towards Naruto at opposite side. The rest of the Stone Ninjas rushed in as well as Orochimaru's eyes went wide as he could feel something ominous leaking from Naruto. Such power, Orochimaru said. As Naruto said wood style, deep forest emergence as the ground beneath him exploded and trees, wood vines erupted from everywhere as most of the ninjas were caught up in the wood vines and their chakra was sucked right out of them. Seikon and Ukon was caught as well and they didn't last it for a good minute. Teiwaya allowed her three monsters to come in front of her, but the wood vines slammed into them as they hit back on Teiwaya as she hit her head as she was pushed off and was falling below the bridge. It was then that Kidamaru appeared as he was hiding there all along firing arrows as he grabbed her and she fell to safety. Orochimaru then looked at the work of art. All of his Sound Ninjas were dead within mere seconds by this one kid as Naruto wasn't speaking or saying anything anymore. Naruto then jumped down as Kidamaru started to fire arrows up at Naruto. Naruto speed through hand sign, lightning style. Lightning shower, he said, as he started to fire a bolt of lightning down on Kidamaru as he tried to deflect them all. But Naruto wasn't finished there. Fire style, fireball jutsu, wind style, wind cycle, he said as he combined fire and the wind cycle, making the fire extremely powerful as it rained down on Kidamaru and he couldn't deflect it, killing him. As Naruto then landed, as he looked over at Teiwaya's body, as Naruto went into a fit of rage, as he marched forward towards her, as he then started to run, he then connected his foot right into her face, kicking her straight up. She even flew past the bridge as she regained consciousness because of that, as she was now in mid-air and she saw a furious Naruto rushing up towards her. She didn't even have her flute, as most of her teeth were broken in her mouth, and she was spitting blood as she collapsed on the bridge as Naruto landed on the bridge. Naruto, said Kakashi, as him and Kushina were still in the barrier. Naruto raised his fist as he slammed it into the bridge, destroying everything, and the Sound Ninjas who had Kakashi and Kushina lost their balance as the barrier broke apart. As Kushina used her chain to grab onto Teiwaya and pull her to the stone side, as Naruto flipped over to the other side, as Kakashi flipped over as well, as Kakashi was in a depressed mode as he saw what just happened. His student, Sakura, she was dead, and it was because of that girl. As Kakashi looked down at Teiwaya as he pulled a kunai. Wait, Kakashi, we need to extract information from her. As Naruto was in bridal rage same way, as he then heard a chuckle. My, you got so angry because your friend died, said Orochimaru as he came out of the forest. As Naruto turned to him and glared at him, as Orochimaru chuckled. Now, you have been training for 4 years. Show me what you got, Senju Naruto, said Orochimaru. As Naruto started to dash forward, tearing through the forest as Orochimaru dodged to the side, but he didn't expect Naruto to be that fast. As Naruto planted his feet into Orochimaru's stomach, as Orochimaru felt most of his ribs shatter to pieces as he crashed through the forest. He immediately emerged from his mouth like the snake that he is, as he wiped away the saliva, as Naruto growled at him, as Naruto speed through hand sign, as Naruto was slowly losing it, but he still had focus to go through hand sign. Wood style, wood devastation, said Naruto, as the entire place was ripped apart with wood spears breaking from the ground and wood vines, as Orochimaru was pierced multiple times, as he had to jump out of his mouth again to avoid being killed, as he rocked back a distance away. Well, I must say, He has grown stronger than I thought. Orochimaru then jumped down to a clearing as Naruto landed in the center with a boom. Orochimaru then opened his mouth as he released thousands upon thousands of snakes rushing towards Naruto. Naruto waited as he slammed his fist into the ground as all of the snakes were sent flying. Orochimaru was on the ground as his stomach was flat down for him to release a snake from his mouth. Wood bind then break around him and start to wrap around his body. Within seconds, Naruto was in front of him as Orochimaru tried to twist his head, but Naruto grabbed onto it as Naruto slammed it in the ground with enough force, shattering Orochimaru's jaw. Orochimaru then clapped back his head as hands then emerged as he was slipping out of his body again. But before he could leave, Naruto grabbed onto his legs and twisted him in the ear and slammed him into the ground and then slammed him over to the next side as Naruto started to deliver punches after a punch as Orochimaru felt himself losing consciousness as he knew if this keeps up for too long, he will die just from punch as Naruto's eyes started to turn red and his fingernails started to turn sharp and his teeth started to turn into fangs as Orochimaru started to sweat even more, seeing that Naruto is releasing the Kyuubi's power. Orochimaru then let his hand turn into a snake. As it wrapped around Naruto, Naruto ripped the snake from his hand, but the snake was still conscious as it bit Naruto in the neck. Orochimaru then pulled himself out of there as he came out of his mouth, but this time he was in severe pain as his entire body ached as he tried to pull himself away. Naruto collapsed to his knees as a poison started to run through him. But Orochimaru was surprised when Naruto sank his own claws into his neck as Naruto placed his glowing hand on his chest as he then pushed hard as the poison started to leak from the wound. After that, smoke came from the wound as the wound was healed as Orochimaru started to back away from Naruto as he was at the edge of the cliff. He saw nowhere out of this as he jumped down, but Naruto jumped down behind him as well as Orochimaru turned his lower half into a snake and started to slither away with Naruto running behind him. Back with Kushina and Kakashi, they had met up with the Wood Clone as the both of them were sad seeing Sakura. The Wood Clone wasn't affected by Naruto using the Kyuubi's power as he's explained to them what is going on right now, and Kushina need to go and stop him because if he pushes himself any further, he's going to lose control. Right now, he still has a little bit of control over his sanity, but soon he will lose it all. As Kushina then headed off in the direction, leaving Kakashi and the Wood Clone behind, as Kakashi shed a small tear as he looked over at Sakura. Meanwhile, Orochimaru had retreated into a cave. When Naruto got there, he realized that Orochimaru put in a pin code as he entered a lab, as Naruto didn't know it, as Naruto simply clapped back his fist as he punched through the iron door, breaking it down as he jumped beneath. As Naruto entered a room, it was like a maze as everything looked the goddamn same. Naruto went through hand sign as he was still holding on to his sanity as he said chakra pulse. As Naruto felt two chakra inside of this place. One of them belonged to Orochimaru and one of them he hasn't felt in a long time, but it has grown. It was Sasuke's. As Naruto started to think about Sakura, this is all his fault. If he hadn't left that night, we wouldn't be out here searching for him. We wouldn't be out here searching for answers to find him. As Naruto let out a deadly scream, as he screamed out Sasuke's name, as his voice echoed through the entire area, as Sasuke snapped open his Sharingan eyes. Both of them had a three-totem Sharingan as he looked around. So, he found me, Sasuke said. As Sasuke then got to his door, he saw a Sound Ninja standing there. What is going on? Sasuke asked. Lord Orochimaru is ready to transport you to a new base, the Sound Ninja said. And where is that? Said Sasuke. We will take you there now, come with us, said the Sound Ninja, as the other Sound Ninja turned the corner, as Sasuke simply followed behind the both of them, while Orochimaru is down in his lab collecting a few things. Naruto created a Wood Clone as he sent it after Orochimaru, as he went after Sasuke. as Orochimaru was surprised that Naruto was able to find him so fast. "So, you found me," Orochimaru said, as he was currently packing up his lab. The clone didn't say anything as it pulled out a kunai and stabbed itself. "What?" said Orochimaru as the clone started to glow, as the clone then turned red and exploded, as this was a special wood clone for pure destruction, as the underground was destroyed. As Kushina saw this at the surface, as she dashed over there, seeing the explosion, as all of Orochimaru's note and everything was gone. But Orochimaru managed to survive, even though half of his lower body was blown apart. Snakes started to emerge and reform him. Sasuke and the two sound ninjas were walking off, until Sasuke felt it, as he jumped out of the holding. As he was now outside, the two ninjas jumping behind him, as the three of them stopped. As Sasuke turned around to see Naruto, his eyes red, with a pissed off look on his face. "So dope, you found me," said Sasuke, as he looked at Naruto like it was so casual, while Naruto was shaking. The two sound ninjas got in front of Sasuke. "Our orders are to protect you. Let's go," the first one said, as the both of them rushed at Naruto. Within seconds, the both of them were on the ground, from a hard punch and a hard kick from Naruto. "So, you have gotten stronger," Sasuke said, as his Sharingan then started to spin. "Last time, you showed me that you were already strong, but I must inform you that I have gotten strong as well." "Sasuke," Naruto said, his voice sounded a bit demonic. "This is all your fault. If we were never out here, she would still be alive," he screamed. "Huh?" said Sasuke. "And now she's dead because of you. Sakura is dead," Naruto said, as Sasuke's eyes narrowed a bit when he heard that. "And how is this my fault? You're the ones out here chasing me. I am never going back to Konoha. I don't want any part of that village. So I don't care who dies or who lives," said Sasuke, as that pushed Naruto over the edge, hearing Sasuke say that, as Naruto dashed forward. But guys, I'm going to end this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends on your social media platform. But for now, I'm out. Peace.